What if I told you that financial freedom doesn't start at $1 million? It doesn't even start at 2 million. And it definitely doesn't require grinding until you're old and exhausted. What if the real number is $500,000? Before you scroll away thinking that sounds impossible, hear me out. Because today, I'm going to show you how $500,000, invested the right way, can buy you something far more valuable than luxury cars or mansions. It can buy you your time. If you want more videos that help you take control of your money instead of letting money control you, like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to the channel MANO INVEST. Let's get into it. Section 1: The Big Lie About Retirement. Many people assume that true financial freedom begins with an enormous figure. 1 million, 2 million, 5 million, or even more. That assumption quietly traps them. When a target feels impossible to reach, motivation fades and effort eventually disappears. Here is a reality few ever recognize. Wealth is not defined by how much money you possess. It is defined by how much money you require to live well. A person who needs $10,000 each month simply to stay afloat is far less secure than someone who needs only $3,000, regardless of account balances or net worth statements. Financial freedom has very little to do with luxury, excess, or showing off success. It is about autonomy, control, flexibility, and the ability to choose how you live without pressure, fear, or constant financial dependence. True security comes from lowering reliance on income, not endlessly increasing it. When expenses are manageable, freedom becomes achievable. Independence grows when choices expand, obligations shrink, and money stops dictating every decision you make daily. This perspective shifts focus from accumulation toward sustainability, empowering people to reclaim time, reduce stress, and build a life guided by values instead of constant financial pressure and fear daily. Section 2: What financial freedom really looks like. When people hear financial freedom, many imagine extravagance, excess, luxury, and status. They picture private jets, supercars, penthouses, and designer wardrobes signaling success. Yet authentic freedom is far quieter, calmer, and more personal. It feels like waking naturally without alarms, deadlines, or dread. It feels like declining work that drains your energy. It means choosing your schedule intentionally, moving through days without watching clocks or calendars. This lifestyle does not demand millions in savings or flashy income streams. It depends on sustainable cash flow that consistently covers real expenses. Cash flow creates breathing room, flexibility, and peace of mind. It replaces pressure with options and urgency with patience. Instead of chasing promotions, you prioritize autonomy. Instead of accumulating possessions, you accumulate time. Financial freedom is control over mornings, afternoons, and evenings. It is freedom from constant trade-offs between money and life. It allows space for health, family, creativity, rest, and curiosity. When income arrives without constant effort, work becomes optional, not mandatory. Choices expand while stress contracts. The focus shifts from impressing others to serving yourself. Quiet freedom values sufficiency over excess and stability over spectacle. Ultimately, financial freedom is living deliberately, supported by reliable income that works silently daily. Section 3: How $500,000 starts working for you. Let's break this down using real numbers, because clarity removes confusion. Imagine placing $500,000 into a carefully structured investment setup focused on stability and income. This could include bonds, dividend-paying companies, and broadly diversified funds designed to produce consistent returns. With a conservative annual return of around 5%, that capital begins generating approximately $25,000 each year. Spread across 12 months, that works out to a little over $2,000 flowing in every month. The key detail here is that the original $500,000 remains untouched. You are not slowly draining your savings. Instead, you are living on the cash flow created by your capital. In simple terms, your money is doing the work while you reclaim your time. If you are comfortable accepting moderate market fluctuations and adopt a balanced strategy that includes long-term growth assets, the outcome improves further. Historically, diversified portfolios with both income and growth components can achieve returns closer to 8% over time. At that level, $500,000 can produce roughly $40,000 annually, which equals more than $3,300 per month. That additional income opens doors, expands options, and fundamentally reshapes how you think about work, money, and freedom. Section 4: Why most people never get here. Most people run endlessly after higher paychecks while ignoring the deeper goal of personal freedom. Each raise triggers an upgrade in lifestyle that quietly resets the finish line. A larger house replaces the old one. A newer car sits in the driveway. Subscriptions multiply, conveniences increase, and pressure follows closely behind. Income rises, but expenses rise at the same speed, creating motion without progress. This cycle feels productive, yet it traps people in permanent dependence on their next paycheck. True leverage comes from controlling spending, not maximizing earnings. When expenses stay low, every dollar saved gains power. Fewer monthly obligations mean fewer demands on your time, energy, and attention. Financial independence arrives faster when your needs are simple and deliberate. This approach is not about living poorly or denying enjoyment. It is about choosing consciously instead of reacting automatically. Intentional living asks one clear question before every purchase: does this add lasting value or temporary distraction? By aligning spending with real priorities, money becomes a tool instead of a burden. Freedom grows quietly, not through excess, but through clarity, restraint, and purposeful decisions that support a life designed on your own terms without fear, pressure, confusion, debt, anxiety, or regret. Section 5: A realistic lifestyle example. Imagine a scenario where your total monthly living costs come to around $2,500. This includes housing, utilities, food, transportation, insurance, and room for enjoyment. You're not cutting corners aggressively, but you're also not overspending to impress anyone. You've chosen a location where the cost of living makes sense, and your lifestyle reflects thoughtful decisions rather than impulse purchases. Every dollar has a purpose. Now picture your investment portfolio producing $3,300 in passive income each month. The first thing this does is eliminate pressure. Your essential expenses are already covered before you earn a single dollar from work. But it doesn't stop there. That additional $800 each month becomes a powerful advantage. It creates breathing room. It builds resilience. That surplus can be saved, reinvested, or kept as a cushion for unexpected expenses. Medical bills, market volatility, or temporary setbacks no longer feel like threats. They become manageable inconveniences instead of crises. This is how financial independence actually feels in real life. It isn't flashy or extreme. It's calm. It's stable. It's knowing that your lifestyle is supported by systems you've built, not by constant effort. That financial buffer quietly removes stress and replaces it with confidence, flexibility, and long-term security. Section 6: The time advantage. This is the part most people completely underestimate. When your essential living costs are already covered by investment income, fear slowly loses its grip on your decisions. You are no longer forced to say yes to situations that drain your energy or compromise your values. Instead, every choice becomes calmer, clearer, and more intentional. You can explore starting a business without the anxiety of immediate failure hanging over you. You can learn new skills at a natural pace instead of rushing for fast results. You can travel when opportunity appears, without asking for approval from a boss or calendar. You can continue working if you enjoy it, or step away when you do not. This shift changes how you experience time itself. Days feel less urgent, weeks feel more flexible, life begins to expand instead of contract around deadlines and paychecks. Money transforms from a source of pressure into a practical tool. It supports your freedom instead of restricting it. You gain the space to think, plan, and live deliberately. That freedom of time, choice, and clarity is the true advantage most people never calculate. It reshapes priorities, relationships, health, creativity, confidence, and purpose. Section 7: But what about inflation? Inflation is a valid concern, and it deserves a clear, practical answer rather than vague reassurance. When your investments generate returns that exceed what you withdraw for living expenses, your overall capital does not shrink. Instead, it gradually expands. This growth acts as a natural buffer against rising prices, higher living costs, and changes in purchasing power over time. As expenses slowly increase, your income potential increases alongside them, reducing the risk of falling behind financially. Another overlooked advantage appears later in life. Additional income streams may begin to supplement your portfolio returns. These can include pensions, government benefits, annuities, or part-time work you choose rather than need. Each added source strengthens your financial position and reduces pressure on your primary investments. The core principle is surprisingly simple but extremely powerful. You are not relying on the original amount of money itself. You are relying on what that money produces. By spending only a portion of the returns and allowing the rest to remain invested, you preserve the foundation while encouraging long-term growth. This approach shifts the focus from depletion to sustainability. Instead of slowly running out of money, your wealth adapts, compounds, and endures over time successfully. Section 8: Why this is hard but worth it. This journey is not simple, comfortable, or quick, and anyone promising otherwise is selling an illusion. It demands patience in a culture trained to crave speed, convenience, and immediate gratification. It demands discipline when friends, coworkers, and neighbors continuously upgrade homes, cars, lifestyles, and expectations. It requires emotional strength to look ordinary today while quietly constructing something rare and powerful for tomorrow. Progress often feels invisible at first, which makes persistence difficult when results are delayed and temptation is constant. Yet with each passing year, something important begins to shift beneath the surface. Your dependence on income slowly weakens. Your options quietly expand. Your sense of control increases. While most people must work harder simply to maintain what they already have, your money begins carrying more of the load. Time gradually returns to you. Stress slowly loosens its grip. Decisions become intentional rather than reactive. This approach rewards consistency, not perfection, and favors long-term thinking over short-term excitement. The sacrifice is temporary, but the benefit compounds. What feels restrictive early eventually becomes liberating. The discipline you practice now transforms into freedom later. This is why the process is difficult, but worth it. The payoff lasts longer than most people expect. Section 9: The real payoff. The true payoff is not escaping effort or abandoning purpose. It is freedom of choice. Choice to reduce hours without fear. Choice to change careers without panic. Choice to pause, reflect, and realign priorities. Choice to design days that match your values, energy, and ambitions. When money stops issuing commands, life regains flexibility. Time becomes negotiable. Stress loses authority. Decisions are guided by intention rather than urgency. You work because it matters, not because rent demands obedience. You rest without guilt. You invest attention where it compounds emotionally, creatively, and socially. Relationships deepen. Health improves. Curiosity returns. You can say no to draining obligations and yes to meaningful opportunities. Income becomes a tool, not a leash. Progress feels deliberate instead of frantic. Risk becomes manageable instead of terrifying. You gain the ability to experiment, learn, and adapt. Financial autonomy creates psychological calm, and that calm fuels better judgment. With options available, mistakes become lessons rather than disasters. Life stops feeling reactive. It becomes designed. This is the quiet power of choice. Fewer compromises, clearer boundaries, stronger alignment between who you are and how you live. When money is no longer the boss, you become the author of your schedule daily. Finally, here's my challenge to you. Stop telling yourself that financial freedom requires millions. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Start where you are, with what you have. Even small, consistent steps compound into life-changing results. If this video changed how you think about money, like it, share it, and subscribe to MANO INVEST for more practical strategies to build real financial independence. Your future self is watching the choices you make today. Choose wisely.